Hey there, lads and lasses. This here is Thunderhand64 coming at you live from the west coast of the United States here on a Tuesday. It is just past noontime, and that can only mean that it's time for some Generations Minecraft server. And in fact, today we're going to do some Baby Zombie Rush design stuff. So let us pull that up first. Where are we? Generations right up here. Been doing a lot of Buffooncraft this last week, so let us do this. And oh wow, I'm in the dark here. I think the start area is over there. Let's fly on up over that way. That away. Yeah. It's a little bit brighter over here, I think. Well, I don't think. I know. I mean, you can see it. There we go. If I just pause here while I do some intro stuff, then maybe we'll get a decent thumbnail out of this. There we go. Okay, so let us start off. Woohoo! Cyclops! Psych, how are you doing today? How are things across the pond? Let's do a quick shout out while we're at it. And I think I've typed that correctly. Let's find out. There we go. So please go check out Psych. He's an excellent content streamer in his own right, and a real fun guy to watch. Definitely go check him out. And appreciate you being here. Okay, so what are we going to do today? I was thinking we would finally finish this up over here because I got some ideas since the last time. And what we were trying to do with this particular dead end is we're trying to run around the corner here. We wade through the water, or the baby zombies wade through the water. We could do like a little simple parkour stuff here. We can hit the button like this. We can go in, we can get some goodies like this. The timer shuts off. Then we try to go back. We can skip back if we want to. But then when we get to here and we start running out, what I want is the water to drain so the baby zombies can come out quickly after us. And I was thinking, how the heck am I going to go about doing that? Dispensers, of course. So I'm going to try to rig up some dispensers here that will keep the water in, and then probably hook up to that button right there and the same circuit, and they will, after a certain amount of time, drain the water out, and then we should be in business. The zombies we'll get to the shore first, we'll be able to head out, and then the water will drain and the baby zombies will come roaring right out after us. It'll give us a little bit of a head start, but not much. And that's what I want, just a tiny bit of a lead. I want to get to about maybe here before the baby zombies alight onto the shore and then start to pursue. So that's the timing thing here, and it's a difficult thing to time, but I think I can do it. So we're going to try something like that. And like I said, I think dispensers here will do that. But let's get caught up with the chat because... Oh my God, thank you so much. Anytime, my friend, anytime. And Ape with a Thumb, Luck, how are you doing? First, maybe. Psych was in here too, so I'm not sure. It's a toss-up. I'd have to see. And the Mighty Draken design tweaks. Yeah, we're still doing some design stuff here and there. So we're going to do a little bit of redstone today with dispensers. Hopefully we can get that working. No, you can't do this to me. Do you know how much I sacrificed? Maybe not. We'll see. Haha, I'm at school right now. Not good, young man. How dare you? Game screen. Thank you. So Draken, our mod, our co-pilot, is here to remind me about things like this. Okay? So you can see of what I am speaking. Yeah, so we wanted to work on this dead end today and finally finish this thing up. And like I said, we got an idea for dispensers here to help remove and then replace the water afterwards and stuff like that. And you know what? We really only have a few more dead ends to figure out here. So if we do a quick fly around the map here, you can see we have one dead end here we need to do something with. We've got these ones are all taken care of. We have something for that dead end. We don't really have anything for this one, though. This dead end is fine. So we have a couple of dead ends we have to figure out. One thing I do have to be aware of, though, is that if I color code the dead ends and things like I have been, maybe that's okay for design, but not good for gameplay, because then you know if you get to a color-coded area, that's a dead end, right? And so you could stay on the path and find your way out. So not cool. So you got to think about things like that. Now, there may be more than one way to get out. Sure, and there may be junctions like this that do not lead to dead ends directly, right? If you went here, you went here. Like here, you wouldn't know. Maybe you can see the dead end right there, but, you know, does this lead only to that one? It does, it might, but it might not. See? So, you know, it's just something we have to be aware of when we're doing some of the design stuff, some of the final design stuff, right? But we can do some of this. So let's take a look at the... All right, got to go. Goodbye. Might get in trouble. Please pay attention to your schoolwork. All right. Thank you for dropping by. Luck. Do appreciate it, but please. As a math teacher, math department chair, and former assistant principal. Yeah. School first. Okay, so let's take a look at this. So what we were trying to do last time, at least we ran the circuit over here to a comparator timer. And so we have a lot of the redstone already in place. And so we can get rid of this water. And I think the best thing to do is just fill that with a block. But let's have it be a different block. Good old dirt block. There we go. And so I'm thinking dispensers should be able to do this, and we'll reverse the circuit so it's always on, and then when we want the water displays, it shuts the circuit off and it withdraws the water. So we could do something like that. There we go. So wherever you see this prismarine here, not the prismarine brick, but just a prismarine block, there should be a dispenser there. So a lot of dispensers. A lot of dispensers. Fuck. Well, I don't know why we're replacing that block. We're going to have to put a dispenser there anyway. But dispenser facing up with a bucket of water in it, and we should be good. Right about there. Okay. All right, so let's see if we can get these things facing upwards. And we won't need any of those. Hawk, hands. Do what I tell you to do. Oh, yeah, we're going to have to do this kind of thing with the crouch in place, everyone. So if I leave the pistons in place for right now, it's probably going to help. Now, seeing the dispensers on the floor might clue the user into what's going to happen. But like I said, when you're in a panic and there's baby zombies running behind you, you know, the distraction should serve its purpose. Or it should serve to sufficiently distract the player. Enough, anyway, so we can do what we need to do to them. But the other thing is, you know, you might have an idea that this will dispense and then remove water. But when and how and why isn't apparently obvious. So... Just checking my phone there. Fuck. Okay, so I'm thinking something like that. And we will put water in each one of these. Now, I'm thinking we only need one bucket in each one. And I'm hoping this will be continuous. I think it is, but we'll find out. Now, let's do it in rows this way. Now, I wonder if I copied a dispenser with water in it. Would I get a dispenser with water in each copied location? It's just design work, Minecraft design know-how. There we go. Of which I have little. All right, so I'll check chat in just a moment. Just let me load these up, because it's kind of a counting thing, or at the very least a matching operation, so I don't want to miss any. Yeah, see, I keep doing that instead of copying it into it. I keep placing the master item. All right, almost done. Then I can check the chat. As I load a few of these up. And like I said, I'm hoping that the one bucket of water will be able to deploy multiple times. I think it does, but if not, we'll just stock it. We'll just restock it after each run. So restocking is going to have to be a consideration. It usually is for any kind of mini or not so mini game. Inside of Minecraft, it's usually a consideration. Almost done here. Great. Okay, so we've got our last ones right here, and then we can use the master for the last one because we're done copying. All right, so now these should be activated all the time, so we'll reverse the circuit, and so it'll dispense the water, and then when we press the button, it will shut it off and retract. That's the idea. All right, let's get caught up with the chat. Joke's on you, I have autumn break. Yo, Thunder, did you go to the arcades much back in the day? Oh, I certainly did. I've been to one with more modern games once, and I really want to go back in time to see what they were like in the older games. I bet he played a mean pinball. I was pretty good at pinball, pretty good at it. I love pinball. Oh my God. There was a pinball machine at this one hotel I stayed at a few times with my family. It was cool because the music would change and there'd be different characters mentioned the further along you went. Cool. There was like 6 or 7 characters. I got to like 4 of them. Cool. Wow, they still have, well, I was about to say, wow, they still have arcades. But whenever we go to Taiwan, those arcades are really popular there, and Biggie, Kachi, and Mrs. Thunderhand and I, we always go to those. In fact, our last trip, we went to one, and it was super, super cool. Yeah, they have a lot of cool games there. As far as back in the day, yeah, there was a place I used to go to, and I'm not doxing myself by saying it because it's no longer there, but a place before I grew up and would go to the pub, I would... me and my mates, me and my friends would go to the Electronic Dream Factory. So if you watch Stranger Things and you see them going to the arcade and stuff, yeah, it's a lot like that. So we had, all of the games, Space Invaders, Tempest, Battlezone, Dig Dug, all of those games. Yeah, we used to go to the arcade and play those games. In fact, my younger brother used to hustle those games, so he would get really, really good at them. And this was a popular thing to do, by the way. You get really, really good at the game. You would get your game up to a certain high score, and then another player who wasn't as good as you would pay you to take over. So they would pay you to get their screen score up there, and then, of course, you put your initials in afterwards, right? So, yeah, there was a lot of that kind of stuff going on. But games I used to play at those old arcades during the 80s, would be, let me see. My friend played Dig Dug a lot. I didn't play that one too much. There was a Star Wars game that was really cool. It had the vector graphics. I really like that. So it had like the line art graphics, not the pixel graphics. So I like that one. There was another game that was similar to that, a tank game called Battlezone. I really like those two kinds of games. Tempest, I would play a lot. I played a lot at Galaga. Space Invaders, not so much so. Little bit of Pac-Man, but not too much into the Pac-Man. I'm trying to think if there's any other go-to games I used to play like that. Galaga. Those are the ones. Centipede I used to play a little bit, and Millipede came afterwards a little bit. I played that fairly regularly there. Those are the ones I can remember right off. Arcades are cheap casinos for minors. Yes, they are, if you think about it, because you never get money back, and it's really addictive. I had Pac-Man on my phone for a while, and then the game had a terrible update, and it wasn't like the arcade game anymore. Oh, that's a shame. But you can buy those packages for your PC. They have the old Atari and arcade game packages you can buy for your PC and stuff, and some of them are you can actually buy like a really cheap console for them, and they have all of those games loaded on there. Yeah, it's really cool. Okay, I think we should do an experiment first. So I'm going to go down below to do this. That way we don't temporarily wash away all of our redstone. All right, so let's do... let's do something like this. There we go. Let's put a water bucket in it like that. Do that. Let's get some blocks. All right, all right. You want to do it that way, hands? Fine, whatever. In fact, let's use glass. Really, Thunder? Yeah, sure, why not? That way we can see the action. All right, and let me see. So we're actually going to try to activate this from below. And since we're activating this from below, we can use a torch. And let me see. Redstone torch. Right, so let's do this. Just trying to think ahead a little bit here. Not torchy, just torch. That'll do. And so this is what we want its default state to be in, right? And then we could do something like we'll run a redstone line over there with a repeater. Now, we may change this part out a little bit depending. But if we take a button, he just typed butt. Yes, I did. Okay. Okay. And then if we hit it again. Good. And we should be able to do this over and over again as many times as we would like. Okay, so that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking something like that. Good. All right, I'm thinking we do that, but with all of those dispensers. There's what, like 20-something dispensers up there? I think so. Yeah, so we're going to have to remove all of that stuff. Hey, I'm getting better at that, by the way. And by that, I mean when I'm indicating something during the stream for the video later. Notice how I do a nice slow circle now? Instead of coming up here and saying, oh, by the way, we got to get rid of all of that. Right? No, slowly. Make a nice circle around it. That way, you cut down on the vomiting with the motion sickness. Okay, so these are all armed and ready. So wherever there is a dispenser, that means we need some power to that dispenser from down below. Now, the thing I have to look for is I have to see if one redstone torch will power one dispenser. If that's the case, that's fine. If one redstone torch in that kind of position does multiple dispensers, that's not too much of a problem. I want all of them to engage and disengage. Engage. All together anyway. So, you know what? Let's pull this right to there. Okay, let's do that. And I want to remove any unnecessary blocks. That just makes work a little bit easier. All right, so these are the blocks for the parkour to parkour across the water. And then we have these dispensers. Okay. Oh my God, I'm going to see if there's a Pac-Man Twitch category. Be right back. Oh my God, there is one. Yeah, there's got to be. I would be very surprised if there weren't. You know what? This might make things a little bit easier down there if we could code these. Maybe not. It's like an extra step, but you know what? Oh no, that's not what I wanted to do at all. This is what I want to do. In fact, we don't even need to do that. We could just do that. I think this is what I need to do. Great. Let's fix that one that we dropped. Let's take a look from above. Yeah. So I need to do that. I need to do that. And then that. Okay, we should be good here. Now, now I can use this for the substrate. Like that. There we go. And you know what? Even for the parkour blocks, I'm just going to do something like this. All right, we run that over there. This game actually has, if you think about it, Baby Zombie Rush has a kind of Pac-Man vibe to it. Kind of does. And the mighty Princess Nebula has dropped on by. Hello, P-Nebs. How are you doing today? Okay, so there isn't one just called Pac-Man, but there is one for the Nintendo game called Pac-Man 99. Oh, okay. Not quite as cool, but I suppose if you need your Pac-Man fix, that's how you're going to go about doing it on Twitch. How are you doing today? I am awesome. Thank you so much. Let's do a quick shout-out. There is the mighty Princess Nebula. Nebs did stop by the Buffooncraft server the other day. It was really cool to see her on, even though she didn't seem to be in the mood for much Minecrafting. She still logged on, filled around a little bit, and of course, most recently was a guest on Generations, a recurring guest. And we did a little bit of end looting. We had a little end looting competition in which who won on that is, I feel it's debatable. If you count just sheer items, I did, but not by much. And she had a really cheap death at the beginning that wasn't her fault. That was my fault. So let me see. I wound up with the most items, but she had the most cities rated, the most wings, everything. She just knocked it right out of the park. It was ridiculous. No contest. But it was a lot of fun. It was a really funny stream. So if you get the chance, viewers, you should check out that VOD. It's really cool. Okay, so it looks like... gee, I don't know. It looks like 2 water sources by 1 torch there. So I'm thinking if I place... Maybe if... Oh, it looks like 3, actually. But I'm not sure that the dispensers are doing that, or it's the nature of how the water is forming. That might actually be a problem, now that I think of it. Because if it's just properties of water in Minecraft, when I remove that torch, it should retract the water, and water will remain if it's a... Oh, no! Not good. Okay, so what has happened is by doing this, it's made a water source. Oh, well, wait a minute. Hold it. Just because I knocked the torch away doesn't necessarily mean... doesn't necessarily mean that I activated the dispenser again to withdraw it. So let me use the button on the side of it. There. That should now pull the water back. And it didn't. Not cool. All right. But you know what? I'm thinking 1 dispenser should fill this whole area with water. And I'm thinking that dispenser right in the middle should do it. So let's try that. But I think dispensers are the way to go here. Good. Okay, so I'm thinking, like in this area, 1 dispenser ought to cut it. It'll flood the whole area with water, and we should be all set. Like I said, though, the only problem is, might be forming water source blocks. That might be an issue here. That might turn into an issue. And for right now, I'm just going to put a button right on the bottom of this. Let's do this. Okay. So we have dispensed said water. Okay, and it gives us water, like this kind of a water stream here. I like this because it slows the baby zombies down, the water being in different directions and stuff. This might be okay. This might be all right. If I place these carefully enough, I might be able to avoid making making source blocks. For example, I have this zone here. If I don't place any here and I place 1 here for this zone, I think I can avoid making source blocks. Let's click it again and see if it pulls the water out now. Please just do the thing I want you to do, please. Yay! Okay, woo! All right, let's take it. That was so much fun. We have to do it again. Yes, we do. The water isn't moving. It's freaky. So when we... Nebula and I will definitely do another looting run. Another looting competition. If you're up for it, Nebs, I certainly am. I believe you are. And I think I'm going to work out a scoring rubric to total number of items will be just one way to score, and then maybe different point values for the different items, and maybe like 10 points for each city found, something like that, right? And because that's a part of the challenge, really. It's just locating the cities too. So if somebody, if you locate 4 cities and I locate 3, you would get 40 points there. I would get 30 points. That kind of thing. I think things should be weighted in those kind of ways. And then you just make a rubric. This is the teacher and me coming out. You just make a rubric and then have the scoring down below. So I think if we think about that ahead of time, we can come up with a better way to score for that kind of stuff. Yep, we could talk, message each other and talk about when. Yeah, we can. I think soon. Definitely before the end of the year, which sounds like a long time, but that's coming up pretty quick. We're already in October. I found a Pac-Man game on Steam. Woo! Psych, welcome to the 1980s. Okay, I'm thinking the next source block will probably be right here. And then I want to test them, and I want to see how well these two are going to work together. Are these two dispensers going to play nice together? I think they will. I think if I do something like that, it should be okay. Yeah, your earlier comment, Nebs, about the water's not moving, it's freaky. Yeah, I shut off some of the animations to take it a little easier on the old CPU, Now, if I do something like this, and I think if I just run redstone underneath these, it'll activate those. I'm not 100% certain that that's going to work. If it doesn't, we can just use a target block like that to do the same kind of thing. Because sometimes, just having some redstone here in this block under that block will power it. So let's do that. So we'll just do a little something like this, and we'll just stick the button right on the side like that. I like this because instead of having all of the dispensers like before, I think this is a little bit better. It doesn't look quite as nice, though, but I think it'll do what we want it to do. And it'll actually slow down the baby zombies a little bit more, too. And the player, if the player decides to just trudge through the water, but... Uh-oh, that's not good. All right, so we need the target blocks, but that's not a big deal. So a target block will take the signal and divert it up 90 degrees. So we can do that. I think these will power those blocks without the repeaters. This one is not doing it. All right, one thing we can do is we can feed them in from the sides like that. That should do it. Yeah. There we go. And I just heard them deploy. So, okay, that's a good thing. Now we got to look at this carefully and look for source blocks. And I do not see any, so I think we are doing well. Yepes, we're doing well. All right, so the next one I'm thinking should be right about here. They'll take care of those 9. This will take care of these 9. Okay, that's really good. This is going to work out well. Yeah, I like this. In fact, later we can probably remove all that whole row and just have this come over, the line come over and feed those. I think that's going to do it. All right, so let's deploy these again, or undeploy them. De-deploy. Oh, that's not good. All right, it's not retracting the water. It should. Come on, take the water away. Oh, that's not a good sign. That is not a good sign. Hands. Just do it, would you? Come on, let me up out of the hole. What is going on with that? Why are these not pulling the water out? I mean, we just did that over here to show that it worked. So let me review this down here. Oh, before I was using torches, so that might make a difference. Yeah, that might make a difference. And I will check the chat in just a moment. Okay. It has dispensed the water, and now it's full. Okay, so what is going on with this? Is it something about having two of them together? So this is what should be happening up above. Let me see. High score is 3,530. Yay! Y'all had some sick games. Yeah, I like to think so. 3,930. Let's go. Physics has left the chat. Water.x not responding. Well, responding down here, but not up there. All right, so let's recreate the conditions and let's see what's happening. All right, so, and I'm going to recreate the conditions with glass. It might have something to do with water behavior, like, all right, so let's get one module in place here. So let's do something like that. Okay, so this is what we have going on in one module. See, that's what should be happening up above. Now, if we make another one, yeah, we'll make this one slightly different. Blue's going to be not a good choice for that. Let's do yellow. Let's recreate the conditions up above and let's see what's going on. Like that. Good. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this with this. Let's try individually first. Certainly have enough water in the old inventory there. There we go. All right, so let's do this. All right, spreading out across that. Retracting. Good. Spreading out across here. Retracting. Good. All right, so now we know what has to happen next. We got this kind of a thing right here. No, 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 no hands. That. It works down here. It is arcade games. Should be a part of a history lesson. Change my mind. I'm not going to change your mind on that. I think you might have something there. All right, this works here, but not up there. So what is the difference? We have some of the parkour blocks in here. That might be interfering somehow. Maybe. Let's take a look at the redstone underneath and see what's different. Oh, well. Okay, well, we were using that as part of the troubleshooting. This should behave in the same manner. And it's not. I'm going to remove these. I can't remove that. But maybe I'll put some glass there so I can see what's happening. Yeah, let's just put glass here for now so we can see what's happening and what's not happening up above. The parkour blocks might have something to do with it. I'm not sure. But I think we should be okay. That's weird. That is really weird. And if I put a bone. Okay. Yeah, you know, I'm not getting that. Maybe. Okay, this should be working. Maybe it's the sequence I have in there. Full buckets versus empty buckets and stuff. Maybe that's... There we go. Oh, I like that. Yeppas, that's what we want. Okay, so I'm going to keep the glass here temporarily. I mean, it looks kind of cool as far as, you know, seeing redstone work. But if you come across here, you know, it's like, I don't know. I don't want the game to look like that. But let's continue, shall we? And we will do... a little something like this. All right, let's bring those over there. And those like that. And those like that. And then we'll have a dispenser right here. Now, the water's retracted. That means I need a full water bucket in this one. And I think we saw that's why that's really important to keep track of that. We just, today Thunderhand learned. Indeed I did. Okay. Got it. Okay, I think we're all good there. Let's extend a little redstone. And then I think when I have this, the redstone working, I don't think. I know we will. We'll take a little spin with this and release some baby zombies and do a little test run. All right, so you see target blocks like this. Brings the signal 90 degrees. Let's do some block counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13. Signal's getting kind of weak. It'll pull for 15 blocks. Okay, so this will be its default state, like this. So we'll come running around here, or maybe in from there. And then if you try to do the running, it's cool having the water going in different directions because it's like death. This is death. Some places, some spots move you along more. Some, impede you, and the middle ones are neutral. So that's kind of good. So you get the idea, okay, it would be better for me to parkour because the baby zombies can't, right? Now, I could make the parkour a little bit harder, and I might do that. And somewhere, if I have an outside wall like this, I might make some a little bit higher up. I might do something like that too, because this should slow the baby zombies down a lot. And then when we reach the end, we get our goodies. We start to come back. I'm thinking probably if I get right about here, that's when the water should drain, because I'm saying the contestant. Once they reach the shore and once they get to here, or maybe even here, the water drains and the baby zombies start coming out. That's what I would like, because the baby zombies at best will probably get to maybe the middle. One thing I have to check is, because they may not be able to get, this is flowing this way, this is flowing this way. If the flow is pushing against them, they won't be able to beat it. One of the other things we could do too would be to have the dispensers in the sides. That might also work. That might actually be even better, having the dispensers on the sides. But if we're real careful about it, we shouldn't make source blocks out of that. I think it'll be all right. Yeah, I'm not sure. Not 100%. Every day is a school day. It is for me. All right. I'll tell you what. Let's lead some baby zombies through this, and let's see how they do with the water. Now, I could just spawn the baby zombies right here and then lead them across, but it's always funny to see the chase, right? So, and I think I can just expel the inventory here. There we go. We should be okay. Like that. We should be good. Let's cast us some zombies, shall we? 1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9、10. Okay, that's good. Now let's get over to here. Don't step on the plates yet, Thunder. We go into survival mode. Hey, kids, how would you like to come outside and play for a little bit? So here we go. Oh, my God. Run, Thunder, run. Okay, so we go over here. Just follow the blood stains. Oh, my goodness. And then we run across. If we parkour. Oh, no, I fell in. Oh, that's so bad. And then if I come over to here. Okay, see, this is what's happening. This is not good. See, they just wind up camping right there. I would like them to be able to proceed. So having the water flow is not cool. Not cool indeed. Because this first water is all pushing that way. Some of them bopped over the other one's heads and got into the other side, but now this one's flowing this way. Yeah. I mean, as long as the source blocks are over the dispensers, the dispensers will be able to pull the water out. But if this forms, if this goes and forms source blocks that are not over the dispensers, it will not pull the water out. And that might be an argument for having a dispenser in each spot. And here we have a rare footage of Thunder going into teacher mode. Clip it. I miss teaching students in the classroom a lot. That was my favorite part of that job. Let me see. Well, we know this doesn't work, so I'm going to go ahead. Oh, I'm still in survival mode. Let's go into creative. Oh, that's funny because once we go into creative mode, then they're like, yeah, not interested. No one to murder here, so we're off. We're going to go play Pac-Man. With a live human being. Look at this little guy. He didn't get the memo. Hey, at 12 o'clock, everybody turn your desks around. He's the only one who does it. Hey, Rupert. Roop. There you go, buddy. All right. Oh, here he comes. Oh, they're upset. Oh, they're not happy. Okay, right here, I'm just double checking this ability for them to see their target. And it looks like they still can. Hey, dude. Oh, my God. Bloodthirsty little rapscallions. Come here to you. Light, ting light. Champagne light. Oh, not that way. Oh, they're hot on our heels. Uh-oh, we're not going to survive the... Oh, juked him. We juked him. See, it is possible to juke the baby zombies. You can do it. But we're getting low because we're getting hungry. Oh, I don't... Juked him again. See, you can juke him if you're... Uh-oh, that's not good. Down to one hot. It's been so long since I've done a test run that I've forgotten how to get around. That's a good sign, actually. Yikes! You're going the wrong way. Yeah, thanks, troll. And then we're done. Okay, cool. You're going to die again. I wish I had at least audio, if not video, of Kachi saying that to me when he was little. Because he used to say that a lot. You're going to die, Bob. Whenever he'd see me play the game. You're just going to die. You know, it's funny. I was going back through some of the last year's Kachi times, actually. And, you know, because I was searching for footage. And it's funny, even just a year ago, Kachi's voice is much higher just a year ago than it is now. So his voice is starting to drop. Kachi, 11 years old. Becoming a young man before our very eyes. He's getting there. Okay, so baby zombies despawned and everything. That's good. All right, so, yeah, you know, not cool. All right, one thing we might be able to do, though, is maybe if we make a row of dispensers right down the middle, maybe that might do it. That might be enough. You'll get flow on the sides, but you won't get flow directly opposing them. This might be a problem, but maybe not. I mean, I could always move that over to the side, but... And like I said, I might make some that are in the air over this. So I might go up in the y-axis a little bit on a couple of blocks, just to make the parkour a little harder. I mean, I totally suck at parkour, but maybe our contestants won't. So maybe they will. Nebula, Draken, Cyclops, if you're up to it. We don't need one there. Like that. And we'll just do something like this. And we could just put the button on the side for now. There we go. Just Minecraft design note. Different buttons have different signal strengths and timings and stuff. So wooden buttons versus stone buttons. Yeah. Okay, I got to make sure that these have the... see, they need the water. Okay, and these are in the off state, so they need a full bucket of water. That one should be right about there. There. Again, the stream goes silent while Thunderhand attempts to match these. This next part takes intense concentration. For me, sadly, it does. I gotta get up on my mic here a little bit. How am I doing for time here? 12:59. It is nearly, very nearly, time to switch to sit-down mode. Okay, we're good. I really need to put one MOA right there. And then we need to extend said redstone right to there. Okay, we should be good. Good thing about this is I might be able to access the button right from here. Not quite, Thunder, not quite. But what if I did something like that? And brought that one over to there. And then this one here. And made that glass. And then I can say, okay, this is good. That's closer to what we need. Now, the baby zombies will get pushed to the side. Any ones that get pushed to the side here won't be able to get through, though. That's the thing. They'll be able to get here, but if they get here, they'll get stuck here as well. So this is where they'll get stuck. They'll be fine here, but when they get here, they're stuck. So we may wind up with just going source blocks all the way across. But let's see what happens when we evacuate them. Okay, all of the water drains. That's a very good sign. Okay, if I took the middle dispensers out and went side to side, it would form source blocks down the middle, and that would be a problem. Congrats, baby zombies. Get another point. Clipped it. They grow up so fast. Yeah, Kachi's getting to be a big dude. Be destruct. The fire has been started. Good luck with 2 teen boys. It's crazy. I am extremely fortunate that I have the boys that I do. Those two really make parenting so much easier. Yeah, I'm not too worried about that. They're going to be fine. Normally, though, oh my God, 2 teen boys, it would be trouble. The one you should really have empathy, if not just outright pity for, is Mrs. Thunderhand. Being the only female in the house full of men is going to be like, It's already tough having me and Biggie here. Uh, but now that Kachi's grown up and he's going to start to, become a young man and stuff, it's going to be unbearable for her here. When you may recall, a few months ago, we had our friend from Taiwan sent his daughter over to stay with us for about a week, and she is 16, 17, I think, 16, and it was good to have another female in the house. Mrs. Thunderhand really appreciated that. Okay, so like I said, if we took out the middle and put 2 rows on either side, it might form a source block in the middle. That might be a problem. But I'm thinking if we put 3 rows in here, it should be okay. I'm just hoping because some rows will make source blocks over other dispensers. And if that's the case, like these 2 would make a source block over this one, but this one would push its water up through the source block. And so when it pulls its water down, it might still have a source block of water there. You know what I mean? So not cool. Because the thing is, pushing the baby zombies to the side isn't a problem. It's pushing them this way is always a problem, so they can't proceed. The other thing would be to take the blocks out of the water and just raise them up as slabs or blocks. And yeah, that might be a much better idea. Like along this side, we'll make them higher like this. Let's get some slabs. This will stop these from affecting the water stream. And it will also help the baby zombies get out faster, too, because they'll have less obstacles. Because those little boogers can run right underneath these. So when the water gets evacuated, boom, they have a straight shot all the way out. So this might solve the problem. We might get away with just having a single row right down the middle now, because even though they'll be pushed to the side, they should still be able to proceed forward. Let's do this, and let's see what the parkour is like doing this way. It's not too hard. I mean, if I can do it, then it should be okay. Yeah, that parkour is all right. I like this better. I like this a lot better already. All right, so let's do this. Let's not do that. Let's do that. Okay, there's the water. Now, we should only have sideways streams. And if they have to fight the current sideways, that's okay. Because they actually go through the water pretty fast. You'd be surprised. Well, if you've seen the design stream here before, you'd not be surprised. I think they can do this. I think they can handle this. Let's give it a run, shall we? Let me see. You should defo have Pleasant Player do the maze first. Him being chased by baby zombies is just content. Oh, Pleasant Player is definitely lined up for this, Psych. He is. But the first trial run is actually reserved for none other than the old Poto himself, Kumakwa. So Kumakwa and I have already discussed it, and he's already volunteered to be the very first one, so I promised him he will be the first to make the run. Pleasant Player might be second, though, definitely. Might definitely. No, that's a contradiction. Will very likely be the second one. All right, I like this. This is good. The only reason why I'm not putting a full block here is because I don't want to block out anything here where the baby zombies sight block here, sight level. I don't want to block that out. So any higher blocks I can put along the wall here. And if I wanted to, I guess I could add a third taller one right here or something. But, I think this will do for now. All right, I'm going to temporarily fill that in thusly. And let's lead some baby zombies through this, shall we? And again, I could spawn them there, but, just having them do the run is really funny. All right, let's empty out the inventory. And let's do this. There we go. So the idea is, how do you make the baby zombies there? If you guys don't know, the first adult zombie spawns, and then if you spawn zombies right where the adult is, there's not enough. You get entity cramming there, and so it doesn't allow another adult in there, but it will allow the baby zombies in there. So as long as you keep spamming whatever block the adult is on, you'll get baby zombies. That's why when you see the adult move over a block, you'll see me spam over at that block. So. Hello, lads. Let's go for a little jaunt, shall we? Oh, God, here we go. This is actually fitting music. This is right here for a baby zombie rush. Here we go. Look at those little boogers. Look at them. Run, baby zombies, run. All right, let's see how they deal with this. Parkour champion. Okay, here they come. This is good. See, they're making excellent progress here. Now, they all push themselves over to one side, but that's okay. They're still making forward progress. The thing is, the slabs are blocking out their line of sight. Now, see, I'm kind of safe here. They can't really go against the water stream. That's not cool. I don't like that. But I've got a plan. Okay, that sort of works. My plan is to raise the blocks up even higher. So I'll raise them over their sight level here. I'll raise them up here so they can see. That way they don't lose sight of me. I think right up to this level will be good. And the cool thing is, if the player falls off and into the water, they won't be able to get onto the blocks again. And Psyche has redeemed H2 No Hydrate. I already took a sip, I think, but officially. There we go. Okay, this should be all right. Let's get over here and let's do a run with them. Oh, look at those bloodthirsty little dudes. I just want to see how fast they can make it out of this water. Wow. That's actually pretty good. That's pretty good. See if we can do the juke. Yes, we juked them. Are they still on me? Yes. Oh, we juked them again. Ha ha ha. That's because they're short. Ha ha. Any stragglers? Run, Thunder. Uh-oh. Yikes. Uh-oh. Oh. Uh-oh. Juked him. Ha. And he got me. Okay. But see, you can juke them at the dead ends. So we need to go southeast. All right, so a couple things. Raising the blocks up. We need to do that. And I think just having any moving water at all is not a good thing. All right, and since we're raising them up, we should go with all slabs. I think they can still see me under this. Because they're down on this level. So I don't think these blocks will break the eye line. I think they'll be okay. Now the thing is, can the player get up onto one of these? If not, we'll just put a lower block right there. Yeah, like the player... Oh, I don't think can make that one. We could just move it a little closer, too. I think if I moved this one right there, they might be able to do it. Yeah, you can only jump 2 blocks high, so that's not going to work. So we can put that back, and we can get one started right there, maybe. So we can go like this, like that. That sort of takes... That makes that one kind of redundant, but there to there, I think, is too big of a jump. So you need some sort of intermediary one around here somewhere, maybe like there. And the good thing about the slabs is you can get gradual heights like this. But that makes that one... That just takes that one right out of it. So maybe we will remove that one altogether. That makes that one a little too far away. That's good. This isn't bad, I think. All right. I just suck at parkour. That's why I missed that one. So I want to make sure I get the parkour right. We go over here. This is kind of bad, though, because the baby zombie won't be able to get under that. So that blocks off one of their entry points. That's good. Okay, this is getting to be a little bit better. All right, I like this. Okay, that might be a little too far away, that one. Oof, got it. Okay, this one I want to move back one right about here because I want to make that jump pretty hard. And then I might just take that one out altogether and move that one over here. And can we make that one? Maybe not. Goes to this will show you how much I know about parkour. I don't ever do this. Yeah. Okay, I think this is doable, though. I just got to check it and make sure it's doable, which means you get to watch me fail at parkour over and over again. Come on, Thunder, get this right now. Okay, so like that. This is going to be a hard one. And I made it. He makes the hard one and misses all the easy ones. So I'm wondering how difficult this one's going to be. Yeah, you know, as a matter of fact, I could just... Well, I'm already in creative mode, you idiot. Just go like this. There. I wonder if I can make it that far across. Maybe not, right? I might have to move that one a little closer. I think that's too far of a... No, a player can actually make that. Okay, that's good. Okay, this I think is going to do it. All right, so we'll let the baby zombies run through here. They should not lose sight of me the whole time, even if I'm up there. The other thing is I'm trying to think of if there's blocks that they can see through. For example, if they were iron trap doors, can they see through those? Then they won't lose sight. Might be something like that. Then we don't have to worry about any visual obstructions for them. Because those poor buggers, you know, they need all the help they can get. Sounds Julio. Chiba Joe. On your marks. Get set. Go! Boom! Shakalaka. They're there. I'm going to totally fail this parkour. Now, see? Yeah, that's not good gameplay right there. You know what? What if those were drip leaves, people? I'm just saying, what if those were drip leaves? Can I have a drip leaf coming out of the wall like that? See, because once we do this, the player could then just jump off, right? Hawk. And here they come. All right. So we would normally press this. We would come in here. This is where we would get our Depth Strider 3 with our knockback stick. And see, because we have the water stream, we could just run right past them like that if we wanted to. So again, the streaming water like this with a not cool, I don't think. But we have to do something about jumping here to lose the baby zombies and then jumping off. But the thing is, I don't think I can just plant drip leaves right here. I don't think I can do that. That is so many baby zombies. One heart, you died. Did you switch modes sitting, standing? I did not. Thank you, Princess Nebula. And this is why we have mods, people. Look, I'm still in survival mode with one heart. And look at those bloodthirsty little so-and-sos all down below me there. So drip leaves would be really good for this, right? Not only do we get to use a newer block for this, but it prevents the player from camping out here and then jumping back. But the thing is, jumping back, they are on you right away. So, yeah, and then we're done. Okay. So let's see what it's going to take to put drip leaves there. But I think we need soil or something on which to plant them. And that's going to be a problem. I think we do. Standing do be good for your posture, though, just for not too long. Yeah, that's why I switch between standing and sitting and standing, right? So I stand for about an hour, and then I sit for an hour, and then for a 2-hour stream, that gets the best of both worlds. So a couple things. I'm thinking the moving water is not good, so we'll plant 2 more rows. And I just want to see what happens with the source blocks on this. 1 row won't create source. Well, I don't know. It might diagonally, right? So we'll have to see what's up with that. We might get away with. Yeah, I don't know. But let's see how to set up drip leaves. Let's see if we can incorporate drip leaves here somehow. Yeah, I think you need something on which to plant. So, yeah, they can only be planted on dirt or something. Trying to think of how to do this drip leaf thing. Um, well, I mean, if I had, I mean, I could do something like this, right? Um, I mean, I could do things like that, but they take out a water block when I do that. And then you just fall in the water and you can still get out. So that doesn't really help, you know? Besides, there might be a dispenser there. So I'm not sure what to do about the drip leaves. Drip leaves would be awesome, though. I should adjust the camera here a little bit. There we go. You know, I really want to use the drip leaves, but and there's no way you can plant a drip leaf on the side in any kind of way. Drip leaves are like the way to go here. Another thing we could do is make the water channel only 1 block wide instead of 3. That might be something. And block the other 2 so the baby zombies can't get through them. I mean, we could do something like that. I mean, I suppose, you know, having this be the first block to jump, I mean, and then being able to jump back off and juke them around, that's really not that big of a deal, I don't think. Because a player could do a similar kind of thing where they could just go like this and then, oh no, now the baby zombies wouldn't enter the water. They would still be hot on your heels, but... Well, I just blew up my redstone there. You know, it's too bad because I really want... those drip leaves. Yeah, I really want those drip leaves. Darn it. Dear Jeb, concerning the drip leaves, couldn't be more confused. In capital letters this time. But that's not good. So this is my concern. Even having these in... what I think has happened is they've formed source blocks over each other like this. Unless some of them didn't activate. Yeah, that one didn't have a bucket in it. That's why. That's why. Okay, so far, we're good. We're good. Okay, so we just missed the bucket in one of the... See what I meant about concentration? All right, so let's just remove that source block. I think it's right there. And let's just try to get just to make sure that everything's doing what it's supposed to do. No, let's not do that. There. Okay, fills with water. And then retract. Uh-oh, it happened again. Let me think about this. I think it's just off with its timing. So retracted, they should all be like this. And make sure that they're all dispensers. And I don't have a dropper in here. That's really important. I don't think so because I think the spouts look different for droppers than they do dispensers. I think that the spouts are square for the droppers. Dispenser. Yeah, they're all dispensers. Oh, there's one target block missing right there. Okay, we should be in business. Excuse me. Lily pad. But I think lily pads will break when we remove the water, right? Yeah, there we go. Thanks, Track. I mean, I saw it eventually, but I should look at chat more. That's why we have co-pilots. Let me see. All right, so my concern about the source blocks is invalid because this, and this making water would make a source block over each other. So I think we're okay. So I think if I fill all of these with dispensers now, I think I'll be all right. It's just powering them now is going to be a little weird. But I actually want their default state to be on. So again, with the torches. So I need a circuit that turns the torches on and then turns them off. And that's not too hard to do. Okay, now we have the annoying task of filling all these with water. And how am I doing for time here? 1:31. So we still got a little time for this. Let's get the caps lock off. Done. I'm sure there's a faster way to put the water in these, but somehow the brain isn't doing it. I'll think of the best way afterwards when it doesn't matter. When it doesn't matter so much. Actually, it doesn't even really matter a lot. It's fine. We are judgment free. Let's do that. Let's do this. This middle row should be all set. All right, and let's load this up. Good, good. I don't think I'm missing any. Now, what's going to be a little weird is getting the middle blocks, but wow, good base in this one. What track is this? Glitching Through, I think this is called. Glitching Through the Sky by William Benkert. Benkert. Yes, William Benkert. Good track. Good track. Okay, good, 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 and good. All right, we should be all loaded with dispensers. Let us get down here, and let's work out some of the circuitry down below here now. I don't think if I put another target block here, it's going to go through this target block, through that one, and up through. That's not going to happen. So we need to remove all of these. And again, I think it's one torch per dispenser if we're going straight up. So I don't think I will be able to get one torch to run multiple dispensers. We can quickly check that. And let me see. I think the best way to check that is to put different items in each dispenser. Like that. And we will just do dirt in that one. We'll do a piece of glass in that one. We'll do the slab in this one. We'll do the redstone over here. We'll do the target block in that one, taking out the water. We'll put the smooth stone there. And then we need 3 other items that are really obvious. We'll take that, this, and this. There we go. Okay, let's do that. And let me think. Let's put a torch here, like this. Okay, look at that pattern. For some reason, these two didn't fire, but all the rest did, and that might be because of their random blocks. Or random slots, I should say. Because I think dispensers work like droppers in that they will pick a random slot and dispense the items from it. And so if you don't have it in that random slot, then it's not going to dispense. So one way around that would be to do... how do I do the thing where I... There we go. Like that. That's how. Yeah, whatever. I mean, I really don't want this much of each item, but if this is what it's going to take, then so we did that. I did that. Let's get that out. We had this. We had this, this, and this. So we'll go right on down the line here so we know what to do. Say, I really don't want 64 in each block, but oh, okay, like that. That's what I want. And let's restart the music right there. Okay. Where did I go? I was right here. That was next. Took this like this, and then I went like that, but then I went like that. Okay, that's better. All right, so I'm placing my single item in here. Scroll wheel click to get the 64, and then left click to get one item from 64. There we go. Like that. And shorter would probably be that way. Yeah, it'd be much faster doing it like that. All right, now all of them should fire this time. Right, so if I go like that, 1, 2, 3, 4, we only got 5 out of 9. Interesting. This is troublesome, true believers. This is troublesome. That. I think I'm going to do this a little like this. Just get 9 of each item like that. Let's get rid of that. 9 like that. Nine like this. Headphone cord out of the way there. And like that. And I think dirt was the last one. 9 like that. There we go. So much betterer. You know what's going to happen here. Yeah, bye-bye. Okay, let us... So that was a little weird. Not quite sure what to do here. Pick a number from 1 to 200. Redeemed. Highlight my message for 100. Cyclopsalops. Phelan, Etheria, hello. Welcome back. Good to see you again. How are you doing today? We still have 18 minutes left of the stream. We are doing a little baby zombie rush design, and right now we're trying to work out how we're going to make our dispensers work for our water right now. And I'm thinking, let me see, Repeater. Doing a little redstone stuff here. Like that with a little button. Again, we're not, so with one, we are not getting all items. All right, so how to go about doing this. This is going to be hard to do, actually. I think. I think I know what's happening, though. Redstone torches like this will power this block and all the blocks around them. So, in other words, if I took... Where's some red wool? So, what we should be getting is this kind of a thing, like this. I should say all blocks adjacent to them. So that's what's happening. So we should be getting just those ones firing. So if we, let me see, we have what kind of pattern here? Let's find out how many we have going. I'm doing great. Good to hear. And H2 null hydrate, redeem. For thee, there you go. So let me see. I have 3, 6, 9, 12. I have 15 of these, huh? So let's work out, you know, how we're going to wire these up down here, and then we'll put it in place there. So this is circuitry-wise, this is going to be a little tricky. 6, 9, 12, 15. Actually, we have 3 times 15, so that's going to be 45 there. But we have 15 rows of 3. Like that. And so this is what we're trying to do up above, but we're trying to use water for this. And so I'd rather do the experimentation down here away from the build itself. And then when we get it all set down here, then we can reproduce it up there. Okay, so this torch here will take care of these 4 blocks. So if we use torches for this directly, but through these means, this is what's going to happen. All right, let us think about this for a moment. I'm thinking we can do... wool like that. But if I placed a torch there, I can get... I'm thinking I can do this kind of thing all the way down. Now this one would start something here like that. And let me see. If I did a different color like this. And so you could figure out that pattern all the way down. That would also get that one too. But see, if I did this, see, that's going to cause a gap. You could use that one, but then you can see it's going to make a gap there, right? So you can work this out. So you get this kind of coverage all the way down. And then when you get them into place. All right, so let's work out that pattern first. There's probably an easier way to do this, but my brain just isn't thinking about it right now. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, like that. And then Shut Mountain comes into the chat. What you working on? Nice background music. Thank you. Thank you. This is Epidemic Sound, and I'm running select songs from their chiptune category because this is kind of like a game. It's kind of like video game. So Shut Mountain, I'm working on the Baby Zombie Rush game. So this is, again, just for a quick recap, this is our not-so-mini game that we are going to create in the Generations survival server, but we're doing the design work together on stream here in creative mode. And then when we get everything working the way we want it, then we will rebuild it in the survival world. So right now, we are working on this. Each dead end is going to have some sort of beneficial or detrimental option. Ideally, the contestant will not know. So baby zombies will be released, 10 of them. They will be chasing you through the maze, and you will come across a choice like a dead end. And you'll see the button back there, and you'll say, let me see. Should I check this out? Maybe there's something beneficial there, or maybe there's something detrimental. Or should I keep going, right? And so, the player gets over here, does a little parkour. There's maybe zombies swimming through water underneath. You do the parkour better than I did just there. Hit the button here, and in this case, you step in. They give you some goodies. And this one's beneficial. It's one of the few beneficial ones I've had. So I'm trying to get work of it. Now, after 25 seconds, this door will automatically close and the water will all drain out. And so that you can either parkour back or, they'll give you a knockback stick and some Depth Strider boots. And so you can wade through the baby zombies, smack them, get them out of the way. You can regain the shore and be on your way. Then the water will drain and they will be able to proceed and chase you. It'll give you a little head start, ideally, before they get through. And then you have the boots and the knockback stick, as long as you can hang on to them for the rest of the maze. So that gives you something that you can use for the maze. So that's what we're doing here. And right now we're trying to make the water dispense and then subside. And so we're trying to figure out some sort of circuit for that. And we had several options. And we got some things working, but now we're tweaking things to try to get it to work as well as possible. Goodyear, 1969. And while I'm here, so a redstone contraption. This thing is loaded with redstone contraptions, Chuck. So this is the other thing I like doing about doing this together with viewers on stream is, we can always get input from viewers, and we get to review our redstone and relearn the redstone that I've forgotten off these so many years. So right now we're working on trying to make this circuit right here. So, but before I get too far into that, I guess I should ask Draken to do this. Drac, would you mind, or Nebula, if you're still there, giving Shut a shout out? Shut Mountain is our fellow buffoon, along with Princess Nebula. And you can see his streams for the Buffooncraft server, our SMP, where we have amazing, amazing builders. Shut himself is an incredible builder, as is Princess Nebula. And good Lord, this season 4 for Buffooncraft is it's just incredible. It really is. The builds that we're all doing in here are just spectacular. This world tour at the end of the season is going to be mind-blowing, I promise you. And so you guys should really check that out. Shut's build it's just really, really awesome. It's got an excellent, excellent theme to it. I highly approve. Thank you, Draken. Oh, stop. I will not stop, sir. Okay, yeah. So what we were trying to do is, the idea is the torch will activate more than one dispenser. Now, I'm thinking, you know what? I'm thinking, it probably doesn't matter. I don't have to follow a pattern. If I do one torch per dispenser, it's a bit of overkill, but I don't think the torches cancel each other out or cause problems like that. I think it should be all right. So one thing we can do is we can get ourselves we could do that. Let's just put a torch for every dispenser, and let's see, because the idea though will be shutting off each of these torches. That's gonna be hard to do. Getting the middle ones is going to be difficult. That's another reason why we may want to do the patterns, because then we can do away with the middle ones. As far as putting the circuitry in to shut them off. Yeah, you know what? I think that's better. I think we should work out the pattern and just take the time to work it out, because I think that would, as far as powering these is concerned, that would be better. Yeah, I was hoping I could use some water to help me remove the torches there, but... That's okay, there's only 45 torches to remove. All right, so the idea is to use different color wool here to work out this pattern. People who do this a lot have this memorized. I do not, because I don't do it a lot. Let's go to the main one and just get all the wool goodies right over here. There we go. I'll just start off with the red wool like this. And like I said, if we do this right, we should be able to do something like that, because the pattern is like this. Now, if I put the next one here, also, if we put all the colors of wool out here, that'll also help too, because we can just select when we need to. All right, now I'm thinking I can do the next one something like that. But now, see, if I do the next one like this, it's going to leave a gap. Maybe. I could start those two like this. I know I should be better at this with the geometry. I understand. I'm thinking... See, here's where I think we have to default to this kind of a thing, and then the torch, this torch is going to overlap there. But, you know, if I did something like this, but then I leave a gap there, and that dispenser does not get powered. So that doubles that one. That leaves that like that. So now I could do something extremely wasteful. And do something like that just to cover that one block, right? And so it's an idea of trying to get coverage all the way down here. Also, putting a torch in the middle is not good. So I want to get the pattern of all the torches to be on the edges if I can help it. So if I do something like this, again, it overlaps on that one. I'm not sure that that's a problem, though. Isn't a torch constant power? Yeah, but what I'm going to wind up doing is running circuitry over here on a lever. So it'll negate the power of the block. It'll send a charge up through here and shut the torch off. Right? So this kind of a thing. I'll see it dispensed its items. And then... So constantly on gives us the water flooded, and then when I shut it off, it will pull the water. And I'll have that on a timer, so it'll pull the water only for a certain amount of time, and then it will restore it. So we want the default state shut to be that, and then when we retract it, hold on, not like that. And I have to break it first. There we go. Okay, so I want the default state to be like that. And then when we press the button, it pulls the water out. That kind of thing, right? These were just test items I was putting in the other hoppers that are being activated. And so that's the kind of thing that I'm doing. Because I want the baby zombies to be wading through the water. We parkour across the top of it, get a head start on them, get our items. Then when we come back, they'll probably be in the center somewhere by that time. And we can either parkour back, or we'll have Depth Strider 3. We can wade through the water faster with the beatback stick, the cudgel, the shillelagh, and then we can get through. But when I reach the shore, I want the water to then drain so the baby zombies can quickly resume the chase. And it'll give us a little bit of a head start. That's what I'm trying to puzzle out here. So that's the idea, yeah. So the water is out all the time. And we want to temporarily draw the water out to let the baby zombies out shortly after we regain, and then the water comes back in. So its default state will be on, right? So I'm just trying to work out how to do this kind of thing and distribute these torches in the best way possible. If I did something like that, that just leaves us with this one here. Now, I'm not sure that the overlap is that much of a problem, having two torches on one dispenser. I don't think that's that much of a problem. And again, the coverage area, the rows of dispensers will be here. So when you see these extending over, these are extraneous blocks. We're not going to have those in place. So the coverage area we're trying to do is this. Right? And so those are on the fringe. We don't need that, but we do need. So here, if I set them up like this, there would be one dispenser there that would be unpowered. Right? I could do something like this. And then maybe do the next one. Now, see, if I tried the next one like this, this is a problem, right? This is a problem because I have it powered in the center, and I can't get at that center, to power and unpower that torch. One of the things I can do is, and instead of using a dispenser, we can use a lamp just to see it turning on and off. So we can just imagine this being a dispenser, right? And let's put it up one higher because I'm going to power it from down below. So this is a dispenser, people. And it is on all the time. So the water has been dispensed, right? And what I'm thinking is I might be able to get away with doing something. So if I have a middle block, I can get some space underneath like this to get at this middle block without getting these. I might be able to do something like this. So you know, we could have a repeater right there. With a little bit of the old redstone. Like that, with a button there. And then you could see, yeah, see the target block won't do that. That won't transmit through, but this might. No, it won't transmit through. Sometimes a conductive block works. Yeah, you can get some quasi-connectivity. This should do it, though. Yeah, but it doesn't shut off the torch. Another thing you could do, let me see, if that's, because we would have like, these would be a row of dispensers, right? Another thing you could do would be to have the block powered like this from the outside and do that kind of a thing and shut this block off from the side. You might be able to get away with that. If you do something like this, repeater. And that way you can get to the middle blocks. A little bit of redstone. With a button. And the reason why I'm using buttons here instead of levers, even for the demo, is because it's going to be powered by a pulse. We should do that kind of a thing. There. There. And so the problem is it'll leave that dispenser powered all the time, and that's not a good thing. So there's stuff like that with which we need to deal. You could lower everything down by one block too. Like this to get to those middle blocks. Like that. And this middle one powers the two ones out on the ends. So we could do something like that. Also, if we had a dispenser here and here, it would power those. So say, and then we would have the water source on all the time. When we hit the button, it will take these four off. But notice that it won't take these dispensers off in these corners. So we're kind of stuck running that. Supernova Relic! Hello, been lurking for a while. Just wanted to say how enjoyable this is to watch Thunder. Watch me struggle with redstone. Repeater into it might do it. Yeah, never mind, you did that. Maybe a simulated torch tower. Yep, something like that. The other thing is maybe the target block will direct that in there. Nova! Hey, my lad, how are you doing? So, Draken, if you're still there, if you wouldn't mind giving the mighty, the one and only Supernova Relic, a shout out, that would be really, really cool. So Nova, I don't know how much of you've seen, but we're doing this dead end water trap kind of thing over here for this particular dead end, and we're trying to get the water to activate to stay in its default state up, and then after a certain amount of time, momentarily withdraw the water and then have it restored. Dispensers is definitely the way to go with circuits. With torches on all the time, but now it's just distributing the torches in such a way that you can get power over to them to shut them off. And I'm not sure multiple torches, one torch running, more than one dispenser will cause a conflict. I don't think it will. I think it'll be all right. So if I did something like this and then I put another one right next to it like this for a dispenser, for example. One button will run both of these, right? And so if I did that and now did this guy, this is probably a poor example because these power each other. So let's just run it over here. like this kind of thing. And you know what? We can load these with water just to get them to run. And let me see. 2 overlapping 9 patterns should do this. So let's just go straight for the good stuff. Yeah, let's get all this crap out of there. Let's put our water bucket in there like this. These were just test items in here that we were using to see which ones were firing, which ones weren't. Crap. It's entirely crap. Let's put that over there. Let's get all these out of here. So I just wanted a different item in each one so we could see which ones were firing and which ones weren't. Like that. Supernova Relic, our fearless buffoon leader. One of the prime buffoons, along with Chris, the IT guy. And like I was saying earlier, the builds that we have for this season of Buffooncraft are just mind-blowing. They really are. Viewers, if you go on over there, you are in for an incredible treat. Let me see. Hi, Nova. I've been watching for a while. This is an awesome project. Hello, Nebs. Yeah, it is taking... it's a lot of fun. I'm hoping that it's going to do everything I want it to do. In fact, it's almost finished, believe it or not. So each dead end is going to have its own thing. And so most of the dead ends are rigged up now. There's only a few of them left. Really, we have traps and some beneficial things at each dead end, and we're almost done with them, really. And then we can start building this in the Survival Generations world, inviting guests on to make the run if they dare. And hopefully a lot of comedy will ensue. All right, so I'm thinking something like this. And then it'll power those 4 blocks. And then I'm wondering if I do something like this, so I get the overlap. This will power these dispensers in a cross-like pattern. But this will also power this dispenser that this one is powering. And I don't think that that's going to cause a problem. I do not. And so if I powered this thing from down below... like we did over here... yeah, see, we can't quite do it this way because we... well, I don't know. We sort of can. Yeah, we should be okay. Like this. This should power 12 of these. But it's not going to get this one and this one. All right, so we shouldn't see this and we shouldn't see this. Yeah, see, coverage-wise, we're going to get something that looks like this. And this won't be powered, this won't be, and this won't be. So we'll miss out on these dispensers, right? That's what's going to happen there. So what I was thinking of is having working out some sort of torch pattern like this to cover all of them all the way down. And that's just a matter of arranging these shapes in this kind of way, working out all of these down the sides. Yeah, you can see where they're all dispensed now because we placed the torches. And then if we did a little something like that, and this, and we only really need the one button like that. It should retract these. Momentarily. Right? But it's going to leave source blocks over the ones in here. And that's one of the reasons why. Yeah. Yeah, it looks like they're interfering with each other a little bit here. So this kind of thing, working out this kind of pattern, is definitely going to be the way to go. It's just going to take, so I've got all of those dispensers. And again, the reason why we want 3 rows of dispensers is so we don't have any running water that will hold back the baby zombies. We want them to be able to swim through. It's a work in progress. Great project to play around with redstone. Oh, yeah. Definitely will get your redstone reviewing, which is part of the reason why I'm doing this, too. It's so I can get my redstone chops back, hopefully. You know, and when you allow the viewers to do the backseat gaming, you know, it's just everybody comes together for it, and it's really good that way. You might be able to just run your torches down the center and power everything. Yeah, you would. You would think, but what's going to happen there, Shut, is you're going to get this kind of a thing going on where you've got. And let's just do 3 of them, for example. And you're going to get some overlap. But if I put a torch here like this, it'll get this, this, this. And so to get these ones in between, right, if I put this torch here, and let's do a little color mixing. Let's see if our code will hold up. You would get that kind of a thing. Happening, if that makes any sense. Right? And so you would get these 2 mixing together like this, which I'm not sure that that's a problem or not. It kind of looks like it is. Right? So running them all down the middle, I don't think is... I think working out something like this is going to be the way to go. It's just fitting these pieces together such that you get the 3 rows of 15 all the way down. So the next one would have to run here, but it would share that one, and it would be in the way for that. So if I could direct the redstone into here where it wouldn't share next to it, you could possibly do that. You would have to put some sort of block of glass in between them to insulate them, to take up these spaces. And then you wouldn't get power distribution over to those because you'd have the glass blocks in between. You could power the ones... Oh. Hold on. You know, Shut, you are onto something there. I think we got this. I think we've got this. What if we did something like this and we put in the glass blocks here? I think that will insulate the middle ones from the side ones. Right? And then power the side ones like that. This might be the way to do it. You could do something like this. 1, 2, 3. Something like that. Maybe like that. Like that. And then you'd have one straggler on the end there. But if I started this one on the end, it would even up, right? But you could do something like that and then do a similar thing here for these ones, right? You could keep the same pattern right there. This one, though, you might not be able to do it because it's not going to reach the corners. This one, you might have to do something like this all the way down. Which, frankly, I think is easier, even though it's a little more redundant. Then you could do the same thing over on this side, right? And here, these don't even have to be conductive blocks because you're conducting sideways, right? I think that's how we do it. There might be a better way to do this, but I'm not entirely sure. And so I'll probably, like I said, I'll probably think about it after the stream. It'll probably dawn on me. Light dawns on Marblehead. And you know what I didn't realize? We are 24 minutes past stream time. The stream end. So this one is, we're actually going on 2.5 hours. That's what happens when I get building redstone, people. I think it would be something like this. We could turn on and off these blocks from the side here. And then these ones from the side there. And I think that would do it. I think it would be something like that. So, maybe I'm being a little obsessive compulsive here with my house cleaning, but something like that off the side to power that one. And then, I mean, if we were clever about it, we could run the circuitry so they all link up in a really slick way. But you could do something like this. I think this would do it. All on and then all off. I am way over stream time. In fact, these ones you could probably get from the side, but you'd want entry points and exit points for the circuitry on there, so maybe that would... I'm thinking something like this. Shut. Yeah, hey, way to go. Yeah, I think that's going to do it. Nice. Thank you, friends. And with this, I think that is a good place to end the stream since we're 26 minutes over. But I think this is a fine place to end it. Then finally we can wrap up this dead end. We've been on this dead end for like 3 streams now. But it's a kind of complicated thing to work out, actually. It is for me, anyway. I don't know. Maybe it's much simpler for somebody else. But I like the flow of ideas between us, though. I really like that. Because when I build something like this, and I have the backseat gaming, and you guys pitch in, I feel like we all do this together. So it's fun. Okay, with that, let's do some wrapping up here. In fact... I'm going to wrap up like this. That way, maybe I can get this into the thumbnail. Maybe. And I won't have to do a manual thumbnail. Okay, with that, let's take a quick look. And let's see if there's anybody to whom we can raid out. And, of course, suggestions are always welcome. And we don't have any of our friends on right now. So I don't know. I just might wrap up the stream like this, unless you guys have suggestions, any of your friends. If they're not family friendly, that's fine. I just let people know before I raid out to them. That's always cool. But if there aren't any suggestions, I'm going to sign off here. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the stream, maybe watching or watching the VOD later, we do this stream every Tuesday from noon to 2, although I went over today. Typically, it goes from noon to 2. For Generations, we have a Generations World. We're currently on Generation 5 right now. And a survival world that that we play on. And so we'll do that one Tuesday, and then the opposite Tuesday we'll do this Baby Zombie Rush design stream for Generations for that. So Generations is every Tuesday, 12 to 6. Our next stream will be Thursday. That's from the Buffoon Craft SMP. I do encourage you, I've been saying it throughout the stream, but the builds, people, the builds are just amazing this season. They're so much fun. So please log on from that. That's from 4 to 6 Pacific Standard Time. And then we do our Kachi Time stream. That's Sunday from 4 to 6 p.m. PST, where me and my son Kachi, who's 11, currently, we do all kinds of crazy Kachi things. This past Sunday, we played Tower Blitz on Roblox, and that was actually a pretty good stream. We got through it, and it was a lot of fun. So night all. Good night, Nova. Good to see you. We'll see you on the Buffoon Craft server probably quite soon, hopefully. And with that, I'm going to say enjoy the rest of your afternoon, evening, morning, wherever you happen to be. And thank you for dropping by. We'll see you all again very, very soon. Bye for now.